Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse and today we are going to be planning using my Clever Fox Planner Pro 2nd edition. Today's video is really fun because we're talking about goals, and not only am I going to set goals, but we're going to look back at the goals that I set in March, see where I succeeded, see where I did not succeed so much, and set goals for July, August, and September. So I really love goal setting videos because I think it's so helpful to evaluate goals that you previously set and kind of figure out where you are in this current season of life before setting new goals. So make sure that you watch this whole video so you don't miss any of the goal setting tips and tricks that I am sharing today, and that you are subscribed to our channel with that notification bell turned on so that you get notified each time we post a new video. Let's dive right in. All right, so let's look at my 3-month goals. I feel like when it comes to goal setting, being mindful of taking some time to look at the goals that you set, of course, throughout the 3 months, but even as they are coming to a close, and looking at evaluating them, seeing maybe where you went wrong, where you went right, what changes need to be made is really helpful before creating the next set. So I set 5 goals in the last quarter. The first one was to focus on health, make exercise a priority again, be mindful of food choices so that I have more energy and feel confident in my skin, and the reward if achieved is new bathing suits. I did not succeed in this goal. I really had a hard time getting myself back to working out. I will say that throughout June, I've been so much better at it, but I did buy new bathing suits. However, I bought them in a bigger size. Not something that I necessarily wanted to do. However, at the end of the day, I could afford to buy new bathing suits, and it was more important for me to be comfortable this summer than it was to suffer because I didn't achieve my goal. So definitely a place that I need to make more progress on. Goal number 2 is finally set up cash envelopes and make a car decision. I did set up cash envelopes. I did all categories except for parking, because I think I had mentioned that my boyfriend lives in a city where I need to park in a parking garage and pay for it, and you can only pay with a credit card. So I did not set up a parking envelope, but I did set up other cash envelopes and make a car decision. I did. As of June, I made a car decision. I was leasing my car and the lease ended in April. However, I felt too crunched for time in April to make that decision. And so I extended my car lease a couple of months, and I made a decision. Instead of buying my car, which was what I thought I was going to do, I ended up leasing a new car. I spent a lot of time and did a lot of math, and ultimately it was the better decision for me. So I am 1 week into a new car now. The next goal was work related, and decide what I want the rest of 2024 to look like. Now that this project is finished, I did a big project earlier in the year. I have time to build my business, and the reward if achieved is a sense of accomplishment. And I am making progress on this. I'm not fully mapped out, but I've definitely made progress and succeeded with the intention that I set. The next goal is to nurture this growing relationship. I am in a new relationship with someone that I met in January, and the reward is having a partner in this life I've built. So the goals here, or the mind map, were to set a weekly date on a specific day, which we do, but not like, it's not the same specific day every week. That may change. And then research fun spring events. I do a lot of fun things together, so I feel like this goal has been accomplished. Goal number 5 was spring home organizing and reset, because I feel overwhelmed in my office and my kitchen. The reward if achieved is serenity in my space. I have gotten rid of boxes in my office. I have done donations. I'm not quite there yet with only essentials, but I'm working on it. My kitchen has been decluttered and reorganized. My bedroom has not been, but my garage, I have organized my garage, cleaned it out, and donated furniture. So I feel like I maybe give myself like, I don't know, a B minus if I'm going to grade how I did on these goals. But I also know how life changed from the time that I set them to now, and there's only so much that I have control over. So we are going to set new goals in these areas. So I have my next goals set up. And we are going to jump back to goal number 1, which is health. The goal is no excuses. We're gonna do a number here, 10 pounds, because it's about what I've gained in the last 6 months. It's that new relationship weight. Doesn't that always happen? Like you go out to dinner more, you have fun, you don't wanna eat like healthy, but no, I do need to eat healthy. So we're going to do exercise and healthy choices. I will say, last night I went out to dinner and I looked for a salad on the menu and I didn't like any of the salads that were on the menu and decided to get a buffalo chicken sandwich instead because that's what I did. So, but I probably could have modified something on the menu. I was just being lazy and making excuses. Why I want it. I don't want another season of buying bigger clothes. The reward, if achieved, is I'll be healthier because that's the ultimate goal, right? I don't want to spend my money on bigger clothes, but the ultimate goal is to be healthier. The next category we are going to talk about is finance. And I want to map out and make progress on savings goals. Why I want it to be prepared for life emergencies. And the reward, if achieved, I mean, the reward is kind of that I will be prepared for life's emergencies, but the other reward, if achieved, I'm going to write here, I'm going to write interest, because a lot of my savings goals are either about gaining interest or saving interest. And what I mean by that is in a high yield savings account, the more money that I have in it, the more money I earn because it is earning interest. Another one of my goals is to make extra mortgage payments. So the more that I make toward my principal, the more I'm saving on interest in the long run. So the reward is interest, both saving interest and earning interest, which probably sounds a little bit silly, but it makes sense for me. Goal number 3 is work. So we're gonna kind of do a little bit of a reverse goal here. And my goal with work is actually going to be more balance. Cut some things out. Why I want it, I am tired of feeling so stressed every week. I work a lot and we are going to spend the summer kind of cutting things out, which I've already done. So I've already made progress on this, but it's really important that I hold that commitment to myself to keep doing it. And the reward, if achieved, is a fun summer, because the only way I can do that is if I cut some things out. This is, let me explain a little bit further. So I have 2 jobs. I work a full-time job and then I work in content creation, and my full-time job is staying as it is, but there are some things in content creation that I need to take a step back from a little bit. So next goal is relationship. Plan summer trip and enjoy the season we're in. When I say the season we're in, I don't necessarily mean summer. I mean the season of getting to know each other. I think that sometimes when you know in a relationship, and that's how I feel, that's how he feels, but it also sometimes results in thinking further about the future and forgetting to stay present in the moment. So that's what we're going to do. We are planning a summer trip up to Montreal, and I think we both just want to enjoy the season that we're in. And why I want it, I'm going to write to not get ahead of ourselves. I think that's a really healthy mentality. And the reward, if achieved, a strong, secure foundation. All right, goal number 5 is going to be home organizing again. And why I want it is to have less stuff around all the time. And the reward, if achieved, so I know I just talked about not getting ahead of myself in my relationship, but there's also been a conversation about what the future might look like. And the future likely looks like him moving into my house, because I live in a house, he lives in an apartment, so it's going to make the most sense. So if I can get a lot of this organizing and decluttering done, the future reward, if achieved, even though it won't be immediate, is we're gonna write more space for a roomie. Not had a roommate in quite some time, but I think that this is going to be the the next step that's going to make the most sense for us. Now it's time to map these out in my mind map. So I'm going to use just a roll of washi tape that I have here as a stencil, and we're going to draw a circle as best I can using this. You don't need fancy supplies to set up your planner. Here we go, and this one is health. And we're going to list out things here that will keep me on track. So one is don't stock any snacks at home that are unhealthy. Next one, create a realistic exercise routine that I stick to as much as I do with my work routine. What's gotten me back on track in June is putting exercise as a to-do thing in my planner. Not a habit tracker, not a goal. It's literally a to-do that I have to check off, and that's been really helpful. And then make better choices when eating out. And finally, create a weekly meal plan. Those are pretty actionable goals, and I think that, or steps towards a goal, and I think that it'll be really helpful. Now for finance, I'm not actually gonna do the circle thing here. We're just going to sort of do a little bit of a list similar to what I did last month, because I don't really need to map it all out here. But the goals are going to be, when I'm mapping out my savings goals, retirement, just drawing a little bullet point there, extra mortgage payments, and home projects. Those are going to be my 3 big savings goals. The home projects and the extra mortgage payments will both go in my high yield savings account that will earn interest, and my retirement will go into my retirement account, which gets invested. Now we're going to do, let's over here, we're going to draw another circle for work. And over here, we're going to write, this will kind of go towards the bottom, evaluate my 6-month 2024 revenue and see what I actually need. Not saying that I don't need money, we all need money, but sometimes I overwork, and a lot of that was a result of the pandemic and all of my moves and life changes and being single and having all of that time. But life has changed a little bit, and there's more things that I want to do than just work all the time. So we need to evaluate that a little bit, and then commit to only working 4 days. That's 4 days at my part-time job. I'm already working 5 days at my full-time job, but I think that the more that I commit to myself, like I only have Monday through Thursday to work, the less I'm gonna put on my plate, because I know that I have a little bit less time. I think that once the fall comes, we'll jump back into growing and expanding my business. But for the summer, I want to take things a little bit easier. Next up, we are going to do relationship. And with the mind map, there's really no rules. It's how your mind works. So some things may work better when you use like fun stencils and shapes, and others may be better on a list form or an outline like I did last quarter. So we're gonna write relationship here. And over here, I'm going to do summer trip. And this is where I'm going to do restaurants and things to see. And I wanna like map that all out. I wanna map it out with options. I don't wanna map it out with like a very set list. And then here, we're going to do enjoy where we are, less pressure on the future. I think that it happens, like I said, when you know that you've met the person you want to spend your life with, but also with age. I will be 37 this summer, he's 38. Everyone in our lives are married with kids, and I think that it's been very easy to like jump into that future mode, and we both want to make sure that we are nurturing and building a foundation where we're at, and that's going to be the healthiest thing for us. Now for home organizing, we're gonna do a list. Home organizing. So what I did not do last quarter that I need to do is bedroom, and that's going to mean closet. I added an extra loop there. We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. And dresser and chest, because I have a dresser that's wide, a chest that is tall. And then office, closet and bookshelf. These are the two things in my office that need organizing, and then, or reorganizing anyway. And then I think that's it. Then I feel like I'm back on track with where I wanted to be, not only in this quarter, but a year after moving. I bought my house last June, so we are just past the year mark, and it is time to kind of go through. And if I can do this like every year or every 6 months, I feel like I'd be in a really good spot. So those are my goals. Hopefully this video was helpful and you found either some ideas for your goals, or if you can't relate to these goals, some ways to map out your own goals in your planner. Definitely take some time and look back at your last quarter goals before you set new ones. It's really healthy to be able to do that. And I think that it's helpful for creating goals that are both something you have to strive towards, but also that are manageable when you think about what your schedule looks like I did with the summer coming. It's going to be different than what my winter looks like. Please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel while you are at it with your notification bell turned on. We will link all of these products, both the planner and the pens, in the description of this video. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.